Good morning. So it's really frustrating for me to film this way because I can't see what's going on. So hopefully I'm in frame and I'm not going to have to remake this video. Um, so I wanted to talk about a couple of things this morning that I've been thinking about. First of all, there was a book way back when dealing with art, and I can't, of course, remember the name of it because I have a memory like a sieve, and the older I get, the worse my memory is. But it talked about morning pages and how you are most creative in the morning, and your brain is really sort of, after a good night's sleep, your brain's really fired up and jazzed up and ready to go in the morning, and that's a really good time to write. And I do agree with that. And I always have a lot that I think about in the morning. So, what I was thinking about today was two things. First of all, identity. Um, you know, People can get really hung up on who they are, and then maybe making a change to who they are can seem really foreign to them and hard to do. Um, be playful with your identity. Don't ever be so firm in your idea of who you are that you're unwilling to change it because you may be closing off opportunities to grow. I've played around with identity my whole life. In high school, I went from being like a prep to, a cheerleader to a jock to a punk rocker. I've played around with identity throughout my entire life, and it's actually really fun. It's pretty easy to do. It's kind of like being a chameleon, and having that ability to change also can make you really resilient, and strong. So I definitely suggest playing around with who you think you are. It's a way to grow. So try not to be too locked into your idea of yourself. Be willing to change. I always say change is really the only thing we can really count on. Things change. So, and things that stay too much the same get stagnant. So you might be noticing a little change with me today. I'm in the middle of trying to do my hair, and I'm in the in-between phase. Like, I've just bleached it out and I look like a pink Raggedy Ann doll. But I'll be putting the purple on later today. So the second thing I wanted to talk about is peaceful parenting. So I'm a mom, and I've already raised two daughters, and then I have two children at home right now, and I'm beyond this phase. But I want to talk about peaceful parenting in the first 3 years of life. Um, if you study child psychology, they talk about the first 3 years of life being the most formative. That's when you're really sort of building your base with your kids. That will, that will carry them for the rest of their life. Now, I was practicing attachment parenting before they had even coined that phrase. I'm a really big fan of attachment parenting. So I did things like co-sleeping, nursing, baby wearing. I was also an activist for a long time. I was involved with a couple of organizations that I helped run called Intact Massachusetts and Intact Rhode Island. And this is to try to educate people about leaving baby boys intact and not circumcising them. And I'm really anti-circumcision. I don't go around being hateful about it. I prefer to just try to educate people about it, because there's a lot of women out there who end up having baby boys that, just sort of go with the idea of, oh, well, my husband's circumcised, so yeah, let's just circumcise him so that they're alike. But, how like are, my daughter's not going to have the same vagina as me, so it's really not necessary for your son's penis to be exactly like your husband's. Um, Things have really changed. This is a whole huge subject, and I can't possibly talk about it all in an 8-minute video. But I definitely suggest, if you are considering having children, if you're pregnant right now, that you research the issue of circumcision, because it's medically unnecessary. It's purely a cosmetic surgery. And I definitely always advise anybody who's considering circumcision to make sure you watch a video of it being done. It's very invasive. It's very traumatic to the child. And yeah, perhaps on another video I will talk about my own story and how I came to all that. So that's a part of the whole peaceful parenting thing for me. Nursing, I think everybody knows at this point that, you know, nursing is the best way to go. I do think a lot of women really give up on it. They get it in their head that they can't do it, or they're doing it wrong, or there's some reason why it can't work. And, you know, I believe with the right amount of support, that really any hurdle that you have to breastfeeding can be overcome. There are over 100 properties in breast milk that haven't even been identified. So, you know, who knows that if you're not nursing, perhaps you're depriving your child of something really important that they need. You know, we're still learning so much with science. And, you know, and then there's that nurturing bond, you know, that's really, there's a huge bond between a mother and her nursing child. So I'm really pro nursing. Baby wearing is another fantastic thing to do, and it's fun. And it's also, it just makes sense. Like, you can get a lot more done if you're like wearing your baby. Co-sleeping, again, that's another great thing. And especially if you are nursing, trust me, you'll get a lot more sleep if you're, you know, co-sleeping and nursing. Then you don't have to keep getting up out of bed and whatnot. And even co-sleeping is another thing that creates a fantastic bond. I did cloth diapering, which is really fun. Like, if you do baby wearing and cloth diapering, just the shopping alone, it's like there's so many fantastic, you know, prints and designs, and it can be a whole hobby in itself. Yeah, and you know, cloth diapering is better for the environment. Yeah, so those are just a couple of things I wanted to talk about today. You know, I'm a little bit older. I see a lot of younger people in this community, a lot of younger women. So feel free, you know, these are subjects I'm pretty well versed on, you know. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, you want any advice. Yeah, so identity and peaceful parenting. I'll probably talk more about these subjects in the future, because these are, you know, both of these are two subjects I'm really curious about and interested in, and I like to think about and whatnot. So that's my quick little video for today. Hope everybody's having a great week. It's Friday. For some people, that's like, yay, it's the weekend. And then, you know, sometimes for moms, it's like, oh, wow, more work, especially if you're a single mom like me and you're doing it all by yourself. But yeah, so it's not exactly a big break for me, because I'll be home with my kids all weekend doing mommy stuff. But yeah, I still like weekends, just a break in the routine. It's kind of nice. So have a great weekend. I'll probably make a couple more videos over the weekend. Right now, I am going to try to make a little video every day about something, and it might not always be the focus on me talking. Maybe I'll just be showing you some things that I have, whatnot. But as I, you know, make my way into this community, get to know people, I'd like people to get to know me as well. So that's probably the best way to do it. All right, thanks guys. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend, and talk soon.